Sometimes, life throws us moments so shocking, so unexpected, that they leave an indelible mark in our memories. Today, we're diving into a story that is both dramatic and unforgettable, a moment that forever changed a day that was supposed to be one of the happiest in a couple's life. What began as a fairy tale wedding, filled with joy, excitement, and anticipation, quickly spiraled into chaos, a drama so intense that it had everyone watching in disbelief. The people involved, the guests, and even those following online were all left asking the same question. How could a day so carefully planned be derailed in an instant? The answer lies in the actions of a single, unexpected guest, someone known for their boldness, unpredictability, and unwillingness to back down from confrontation. This story is a dramatic reminder that sometimes life is far more chaotic than we ever anticipate, and that even the most beautiful moments can be shadowed by disruption. The couple at the center of this story, King Harris and his fiancée, had spent months planning every detail of their wedding. The venue was exquisite, a breathtaking location that seemed straight out of a magazine. Every corner was meticulously decorated, from the elegant floral arrangements lining the aisles to the shimmering chandeliers casting warm light across the room. The catering was planned to perfection, with menus that reflected both tradition and personal taste. Music was selected carefully to set the mood at every stage of the event, from the soft, emotional melodies for the ceremony to the upbeat, celebratory tunes for the reception. Guests were arriving, dressed to impress, full of excitement and anticipation for what should have been a flawless celebration of love. The air was thick with a sense of promise and happiness, a feeling that everyone present could feel from the moment they stepped into the venue. For the couple, every detail mattered, not just the decor or the food, but the creation of an atmosphere that reflected their love and commitment to each other. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect day, not everyone was content. Rumors had been swirling, tensions were quietly brewing, and not all eyes were friendly. And then, as if the universe had decided to intervene, the moment arrived when chaos would strike. The uninvited guest made their appearance, stepping into the venue with a confidence that instantly drew attention. Every eye turned, every whisper spread through the room, and suddenly, the atmosphere of excitement shifted into one of unease. This individual was known for being audacious, unafraid of confrontation, and capable of creating moments that people would remember for a lifetime. Their presence was commanding, impossible to ignore, and in that moment, it became clear that the day would no longer unfold as planned. As the couple prepared for their walk down the aisle, arranging final details and exchanging nervous but excited glances, the first signs of disruption became apparent. Guests started murmuring among themselves, some looking toward the entrance with curiosity, others with concern. The uninvited guest moved through the crowd with purpose, their every step radiating an undeniable energy that disrupted the delicate balance of the room. The whispers grew louder, conversations paused, and the joy that had filled the venue began to dissipate. It was the kind of tension that makes people pause mid-breath, unsure whether to intervene, to flee, or to simply watch in stunned silence. For King Harris and his fiancée, the dream of a perfect wedding was starting to unravel in ways they could never have imagined, and there was no easy way to stop it. The reactions of the guests were immediate and visceral. Some froze completely, their eyes wide with shock, unable to process what was happening before them. Others whispered frantically to one another, their voices a mix of confusion, fear, and disbelief. A few brave souls attempted to step forward, to calm the situation or at least create some semblance of order, but the energy in the room was too overwhelming, too charged with unpredictability. It was as though the entire space had been transformed, the carefully curated elegance now punctuated by an undercurrent of chaos. What had been intended as a celebration of love had become a theater of tension, where every eye was on the unexpected guest, and every heart raced with anticipation of what might happen next. Then came the moment that would be replayed in the memories of all who were present. The uninvited guest made their entrance in a way that left no room for doubt. They were here, they were making a statement, and the room had to take notice. Every step, every glance, every subtle movement was calculated, creating a presence that was impossible to ignore. Gasps filled the air, and the murmur of whispered questions grew louder. Who was this person? Why were they here? And what did they intend to do? The couple, caught in the midst of the unfolding chaos, could only watch as their carefully planned day was suddenly overshadowed by drama that they had no part in creating. The wedding, which had been a symbol of their love and commitment, was now a stage for tension and unpredictability. It wasn't long before attempts to regain control of the situation began. Family members tried to intervene, urging the guests to leave and attempting to restore a sense of normalcy. Friends moved to shield the couple, creating a protective circle as they whispered reassurances and tried to maintain calm. The staff worked tirelessly to diffuse tension, but every effort was met with resistance as the uninvited guests seemed determined to ensure that their presence would be felt, noticed, and remembered. The elegant venue, with all its beauty and carefully chosen details, now felt like a battleground, where the forces of celebration and disruption clashed in real time, with everyone present caught in the middle. The impact was both literal and symbolic. Flowers were brushed aside, candles flickered as if in response to the tension, and the centerpiece cake, meticulously designed and symbolizing months of planning, was nudged in a way that sent a ripple of shock through the room. Guests recorded the moment on their phones, their reactions ranging from laughter at the audacity to anger at the blatant disruption. It was an emotional roller coaster for all involved, a stark contrast to the carefully orchestrated calm of the original plan. Every detail of the wedding, from decorations to personal touches, seemed vulnerable, a reminder that even the best-laid plans can be shaken by an unforeseen presence. King Harris and his fiancée were left in disbelief. Their expressions captured a mixture of confusion, frustration, and an almost surreal shock. How could this be happening on what was meant to be the most important day of their lives? Their friends and family offered comfort, trying to reassure them that the day could still be salvaged, but the sense of normalcy was already fractured. It was a lesson in resilience, a reminder that even in moments of beauty and celebration, chaos can emerge from the most unexpected places, testing the strength of relationships and the composure of those involved. However, reports indicate that King Harris' boyfriend has not stepped outside for days. The reason? Allegedly, T.I. issued a very direct warning: stay away from King Harris or face serious consequences. While the threat itself may have been brief, the implications are far-reaching. The boyfriend, now overwhelmed with fear, has reportedly confined himself to the interior of his home, avoiding all social interactions, ignoring phone calls, and carefully monitoring every sound that comes from outside. Each day has become a high-stakes game of avoidance, where even something as simple as checking the mailbox feels like a potential trigger for confrontation. Friends and neighbors note the transformation. A man once outgoing, now silent, withdrawn, and living under the shadow of intimidation. The tension in this situation cannot be understated. T.I. is widely known for his decisiveness, his ability to confront challenges head-on, and his no-nonsense approach when it comes to protecting those he cares about. When he warns someone, it isn't empty words, it's a statement with consequences. And for King Harris' boyfriend, that warning has become a psychological barrier, reshaping the way he interacts with the world. The simple act of leaving the house is now laden with anxiety, and even the thought of running into T.I. feels overwhelming. In a world dominated by social media and public scrutiny, the boyfriend's retreat into isolation becomes a survival mechanism, a way to regain some semblance of control in a situation that otherwise feels out of his hands. Inside the house, time seems to move differently. Hours stretch endlessly as the boyfriend navigates his confined environment with extreme caution. Every movement is calculated, every sound amplified, every shadow outside analyzed for potential danger. His phone, once a connection to friends and the outside world, has become a source of stress. Calls go unanswered, messages linger unread, and notifications are met with trepidation rather than curiosity. Friends who attempt to reach him report receiving vague assurances, yet the underlying fear is palpable. The psychological toll of living under threat is immense, shaping every thought, every action, and even the most mundane daily routines. What should be a safe space, his home, has transformed into a pressure cooker, where anxiety reigns supreme. The source of this fear is clear. T.I., a figure whose reputation precedes him, whose actions carry weight, and whose warnings are taken seriously. The warning given, stay away from King Harris or else, may have been succinct, but it resonates with the intensity of someone who does not tolerate disobedience. That or else hangs over the boyfriend like a storm cloud, unpredictable yet inevitable. Even without a physical confrontation, the mental and emotional impact is profound. The awareness that one misstep could result in serious consequences has created a palpable tension that influences every decision, every interaction, and every movement. The stress of anticipation, of preparing for the worst, dominates the atmosphere inside the house. The drama extends beyond the walls of the house. Friends, family, and online followers watch anxiously, analyzing every post, every comment, and every subtle hint for clues about what might happen next. Social media has turned into a magnifying glass, amplifying fears, spreading speculation, and generating pressure from all directions. Each day brings new questions. Will the boyfriend leave his house? How long can he continue avoiding confrontation? And most importantly, what will King Harris do in the face of this growing tension? The answers remain uncertain, leaving those involved and the public suspended in a state of suspense, waiting for the next move in this high-stakes drama. Inside, the pressure has transformed the boyfriend's world into a series of cautious steps and whispered calculations. Even routine activities, preparing food, answering a doorbell, or stepping outside, become exercises in strategy and risk assessment. He reportedly spends hours reflecting on his choices, considering the potential consequences of each decision and weighing the risks of even minimal exposure. Life becomes a balancing act between self-preservation and the need to maintain personal relationships, all under the looming shadow of someone whose presence is both feared and respected. This is a scenario where the stakes feel impossibly high, and the psychological weight becomes almost tangible. The psychological impact of this situation cannot be overstated. Living in fear, constantly anticipating confrontation, creates stress that affects every aspect of life. Sleep becomes elusive, focus is disrupted, and interactions with the outside world are reduced to a bare minimum. Even those who have faced threats before describe this type of sustained anxiety as draining, mentally exhausting, and socially isolating. For King Harris' boyfriend, the days are filled with tension, the nights with sleepless hours, and every moment with the anticipation of what might come next. It's a scenario where the mind becomes a battlefield, replaying every potential confrontation, every warning, and every consequence. Observers from the neighborhood are caught in a mixture of curiosity and concern. Some try to offer support, others simply watch, fascinated by the tension. Social media commentary ranges from speculation to advice, from judgment to sympathy. The story has expanded beyond the immediate parties involved, drawing in audiences from across the city and even beyond. Every message, every public statement, every interaction is analyzed for meaning, creating a feedback loop of pressure and expectation that further complicates an already delicate situation. In the midst of it all, the central figure remains inside, navigating fear and uncertainty in silence. The stakes continue to rise, and the psychological weight of the warning hangs heavy. Even without direct confrontation, the mere presence of a perceived threat can dominate thoughts and behaviors, shaping decisions and altering routines. What was once a life filled with personal freedom, social interaction, and routine enjoyment has been replaced by careful calculation, measured steps, and constant vigilance. Each day becomes a test of endurance, of resilience, and of courage in the face of fear. For those watching, it's a gripping narrative of tension, power, and the human response to threat. The situation continued to escalate, with words exchanged, tension flaring, and an atmosphere so charged that it seemed almost palpable. The uninvited guest made their intentions clear, leaving no doubt that this was a calculated, deliberate act. Security intervened, guiding the individual out of the venue, but the emotional and psychological impact lingered. Guests continued to whisper, capturing the moment on social media, while online viewers soon witnessed the drama unfold in real time. The story quickly went viral, sparking debates, memes, and endless speculation. Some praised the audacity, others condemned the disruption, but all agreed on one thing: this was a wedding that would never be forgotten. In the aftermath, the couple faced the difficult task of reclaiming their day. Despite the chaos, they showed remarkable resilience, refusing to allow a single individual's actions to define the entirety of their celebration. With determination, support from loved ones, and a commitment to each other, they managed to salvage the ceremony, finding moments of beauty and love amidst the disruption. The wedding, though no longer perfect, became a testament to their strength and unity. It served as a powerful reminder that true love is not only about celebration, but about weathering storms together, emerging stronger in the face of adversity. Ultimately, this story is more than just a tale of disruption and drama. It's a narrative about resilience, courage, and the unpredictable nature of life. It reminds us that even the most meticulously planned moments can be affected by forces beyond our control, and that the true measure of strength lies in how we respond to these challenges. King Harris and his partner demonstrated that with love and determination, it is possible to reclaim joy even after chaos strikes. Their story has inspired countless others, proving that no matter how intense the disruption, the human spirit has an extraordinary capacity to persevere, to adapt, and to continue celebrating the moments that matter most. So, what lessons can we take from this unforgettable day? Is it a cautionary tale about planning and preparation, a testament to human resilience, or simply a story of drama that will be remembered for years to come? Perhaps it is all of these things at once, a reminder that life, love, and celebration are never predictable, and that the most meaningful moments are often the ones that survive the unexpected storms. For King Harris, his fiancée, and the guests who witnessed it all, this day will forever stand as a powerful story of disruption, determination, and ultimately, triumph. Thank you for joining us as we explored this unforgettable moment. If you want more stories filled with shocking twists, dramatic confrontations, and moments that defy expectation, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. The world is full of surprises, and we're here to bring you every single one, telling the stories that leave us questioning, reflecting, and most of all, captivated. Until next time, remember, life is unpredictable, love is resilient, and drama can strike when you least expect it.